Now you're live.
Installation number 3.
Well, it's the 5th game we've streamed.
Yeah, but not in I think our 3-minute series should be different from our long form. Oh, but this is a long form game, isn't it?
It is a long fun game.
Now you'll be able to see my full repertoire of skills prospering.
Yeah.
Wait, you're right again, yeah.
It's definitely
I should be, shouldn't I? Wait, no, I should be black this
No,
time.
you should be white because our first game you were white.
No, our first game I was black. Then we played another one, I was white. Now I should be black. All right. I love this opening.
Where'd the trash bags?
They're right there.
Same?
Yeah.
So they are.
Oh, we need to get that painting up. Ugh.
Yeah, I know. That's the other thing I really want to get done today.
It's your move.
I should clean it while it's down.
I'll have to go find all the hanging stuff again. Stud finder.
I think it's all downstairs.
Yeah. Some of it
You've never done this before.
might be upstairs.
I have.
Probably not.
No, because the last thing we made hung those things down there.
He chortled in his joy.
Is that true?
Yeah, that was last weekend.
What about base painting? No, the smoke detectors. I hung those up
Oh,
too.
okay.
Interesting. So you really want my knight then, eh?
Aye, laddie.
See how I open up the window for you?
It's gonna bite you in the butt later,
That's what you think.
is what I think.
I need glass cleaner.
Everyone needs glass cleaner.
Don't have any. Don't like using vinegar.
LOL. How funny would that be, bae?
Good, extremely.
Especially when it's live.
Was this battery dead? No. Alright.
Wait.
So I say I sit for 15 minutes and then go to the shop.
This could be interesting.
Do you want to get your tea, bae?
In a minute.
Watch out, little kitty. Train. Cat train. Insulation, hinges.
Now I'm gonna get my tea. Will you sit there? While I wait for the sound of your jaw hitting the table, I'm gonna pour myself some tea.
You act like I'm very surprised.
Well, no, of course you knew that I was better than you already.
Ha ha ha. Not based on the record, I wouldn't know that.
So do you have a thing of piece of paper?
This calls for the last bag of green. Let me know when you want to do.
Was it on the table?
I will.
No, they are not on the table. I would have done it already if they were on the table.
Pawn takes pawn. I'm predicting that you're going to be overconfident and lose this game.
That's possible. I've done it before.
Adjusting.
Pawn takes pawn, eh?
Aye.
It served me well. This is beautiful.
I agree.
I'm still gonna lose.
I doubt it.
I don't.
Let's see it.
Let's.
Hinges.
Do, 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 do. Mm. Do, 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 do.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about.
I will put.
Oh, Moshiroi.
What it is again?
It's like
No, tell me.
pegboard.
What's it right now?
Pegboard. You've got the thumb installation and the hinges.
Yeah.
This is fun.
Mm-hmm.
It was. You were saying you-
Ah.
Okay, so then our menu was Thursday we're gonna have pasta, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Or Tuesday.
You know, being down in chess is mostly an opportunity to level up your skill.
Third Friday is chicken pot revenge. And Thursday
Yes.
is
Mm-hmm.
something really heavy on the veggies. Is there any of that salad that really keep on
I have several options here. For the sake of the
Yes.
audience, I could consolidate my formation or my positional advantages to establish some sort of defensive structure, or I could continue to press forwards. If I consolidate poorly or without the economics of motion in mind, I will lose the momentum and have it turned back on me. But if I press forwards recklessly, I will have my attack broken, and I will lose both the momentum and the game.
Well, all that
But if I-
remains is the decision, my brother.
I mean, this would have to be our new protocol, and which we can't do tomorrow, because we're gonna have to.
Ah,
We gotta keep it simple for this week. We have to try
keep it simple, stupid.
chili and cornbread.
Chili and
And
cornbread.
we'd have chili to take for lunches and stuff, too. And what did we say Thursday?
Chili and cornbread.
Well,
Oh, Moshiroi.
I could go through the list of things we've in the
I
past.
mean, we could just do, what are those little things called? Yeah. Or we could do,
Check.
can you cook the,
What about that craze?
it's the one, you know that one with lentils and then you put the fresh salad on top?
Oh, Fujidara.
Can you do mujidara in the crock pot?
Absolutely.
And then we could just chop up.
I love this.
And cucumber, we can get boys to help even for the, so do you wanna do that?
Yeah, let's do Fujidara, that'd be really good.
I feel so in my element right now.
Okay, so then we would need to buy,
We are all of us born into a losing struggle.
So, well, tell me what the stuff is, I mean,
so Sunday's chili and cornbread.
so we really need nothing, unless you wanna have the crumbles, the veggie crumbles and stuff, because last time I made it, I didn't put any.
Ah,
That's what I mean, the veggie crumbles. I have everything else in the show.
Alright, and what about cornbread?
We
Yeah,
have
chickpeas.
boxes, and we just need eggs with whipped mayo and milk, I think.
Yeah, so we do need cream anyway, so
Okay.
we'll just get cream.
You can tell when we get quiet that things are heating up.
But we're gonna need
Mhm.
cream for the tuna noodle too, so we'll just get a big half, carton.
ah,
Coffee and stuff too. Definitely need coffee. What about tea? Hey, how's tea holding up?
We have enough for about a couple more days.
Okay, so
But,
we need tea then.
Yeah, preferably another box of green, and at least another box of green. What did you move?
my bishop.
Yeah, that's predictable.
Yeah, I know it's predictable, but what are you gonna do about it?
It just helps my digestion so much.
Yeah.
And I'm not excited about eating them.
For an instant, I contemplated sacrificing my night.
Okay, so. we have
Okay,
to-
tuna noodle, we have the, but we need.
I don't even know what you mean sacrificing your night, but that's okay. I don't need to.
We have a jar of roasted red peppers,
Yeah,
just
so
use that.
we have to,
You make the sauce with sour,
there are a couple of ways of doing it. We're gonna need Parmesan regardless.
Okay.
I have cream cheese in the fridge, so I can use to make the base sauce.
are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I have cheese, I have all of this, else we'll need a milk for it.
Danger.
Captain, there's a red dot moving toward the green dot.
There's a little red thing. We went towards the green thing.
Captain, there's a red thing moving toward the green thing. There's a red thing moving toward the green thing. It's so hilarious how he starts blubbering in that scene.
Uh-huh.
And, what we're doing protein wise,
Ah,
Oh, we need a bag of salad too. We're gonna have
methinks
Well, if we buy chicken for the,
Well,
gosh, let's just buy extra chicken, I can just
I can stuff what methinks.
Okay. Chicken.
This is a very complicated position.
Aye. Indeedy dooski. Indeedly dardle do.
We need
Even
lentils.
more onions and lentils. And,
And then we'll need the fresh, the cute, and the red onion and
cucumber, red onion,
You know what I find admirable is that your defense is not suffering, despite the fact that you're down 6 pieces now.
6 points?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Not 6 pieces. That would be a lot.
That would be a lot, yes.
I think we should buy an already.
That would be a game-ending amount.
Anything we can do to.
Make it faster.
Unless they were 6
What
pawns.
should we be doing? Alright, that's Mujidara. And then
How
chicken
intelligent
pox.
of you.
Sour cream, mushrooms, even more onions.
That's illegal.
Chicken, we should have tons of paprika.
Yeah.
And then typically, hey babe,
Yep.
how would you like to eat your paprikash Friday? Over pasta or with bread?
Bread. Because then when it's cold the next day, we can spread it on the bread and make paprika sandwiches.
So we can't really buy the bread.
Yeah, we want to buy the bread
Yeah,
sometime during the week, so it's
Yeah.
nice and fresh.
but if people are gonna eat sandwiches, we still need a loaf of bread.
Well, Nutters of Loaf just opened
Oh,
today.
okay, alright.
Okay.
And, their hamburger
I can work with this.
That'd be good.
Yes.
So Christina and I are going out to dinner tonight. I
Yes.
was thinking Hero could make you guys burgers,
Okay.
but that means somebody should get some burgers out of the freezer and let them start thawing
That is correct.
in the fridge.
Yes.
So if you get a moment to think about that. They're probably in the garage freezer, right, Beth?
Okay, what else, is there anything,
Lunch meat and cheese, we're going on for a couple of days, we don't rely too much of that in advance. Hero, desperately, hey, Hero! I doubt he can hear me. He had a list of things, because it's Valentine's Day this week. He wants to get some burgers.
Promotion is so uneconomical, though.
I'm loving it. Ba 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 ba.
I'm gonna take leftovers for lunches.
yeah, cause all those are good leftovers.
And that might serve me better.
You're welcome for the free endorsement, McDonald's.
Pasta and salad, and all that candy.
Feel free to send me a check.
That's dinner, that's one dinner a night.
Yeah, but it's no leftover then, like, throw it.
Okay,
We'll
well,
probably eat all that out, if we just don't make a massive amount, we'll probably eat it up. You know, like, just making our own chili that we eat and have a couple.
Screw you.
yeah, I can cut that out.
Check.
Because otherwise we end up throwing it away.
So we're compiling our grocery list. And I already told Christine you wanted some graters, but I didn't know what flavor.
Why, thank you for letting my queen live.
Screw you.
Pizza sauce. Oh, pepperoni. Because you want to make the pizza stuff. That's the fridge. I bet we've got bagged mozzarella right now. Ooh.
I bet we do.
What was it again now?
Bagels. Plain bagels.
Absolutely screw you. I'm the one that got overconfident.
Yeah, we've got bagged mozzarella.
Okay.
Likely.
That's all we need for those.
If I had made a different move last move, your queen would definitely be dead right now.
But I still think I would have won. But I'm happy to
Wow.
have the game the way it is.
Wow.
So.
Well, okay. Actually, though, using logic, the number of times I have thought I would have won and then did not is great enough that I think I might have had even odds.
Psh,
Oh.
Or you can do that, I guess.
let's just see what you do. How about that?
Okay, and then,
Let's-
we need to get some more fruit, I think the apple worked well.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I don't want you taking my pawn. So. Anything bad you can do there? Not really. I take.
So we're gonna go boot shopping real soon, guys.
Yep.
We'll come with you. Yeah, because you got
Yeah.
your Get pick them out. I mean, you want me to just buy boots for you?
Let us know whenever you want to leave.
I was thinking like in 10, 15 minutes.
Okay.
If you want to Alex in the back in these wonderful candle boots.
Oh, those ones I showed you. I found the ugliest pair of boots ever.
Babe.
They're waterproof boots done in a desert camo.
Ew.
It's just, what's the point? Why do you need waterproof boots in the desert area? I don't know.
What?
It does rain.
Desert
They were
camo,
really, really
waterproof
nice. Yeah, like
boots.
once a year.
It's for when you get to the oasis.
No, yeah, right, exactly. Nope. Are you guys going outside? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you're attacking my bishop. I was waiting. I was like, What does that move do? Usually there's the move behind the move, and then there's the move in front of the move.
Uh-huh.
On the surface, below the surface, and above the surface.
How about the surface of your next move? What does that look like?
It's a sphere, not a surface. All moves are spherical.
Gee, I wonder where you got that from, babe.
Then you lose that whole wall, and it's just.
If it's the truth, it doesn't matter if it's out there.
Then we have a complete.
If it's the truth, it doesn't matter who discovered it.
It helps provide more.
All right, I'll just let George Washington and Thomas Edison know that.
Yeah, it's feeling.
Huh.
Feeling.
Huh.
What do you think, Sasha? You're sitting there like a lady. Well, before she would not lay in the middle of the floor like that
Yeah.
with her paws crossed because she was too worried about being ambushed.
She's still on the edge seat.
She's getting better.
Okay, so.
She's getting better and better. Oh.
Restaurants for dinner tonight.
If we go
You're a
to
couple moves away from annihilation.
I'm well aware of that.
Kuma.
Bring it on.
I'm just gonna tell them that they've never answered, so.
Ask them what else they want to do. I mean, I can still.
What about that place in that Italian place?
With Hopper? They don't think they're taken. It's not.
Yeah, they do.
With Hopper?
Yes. Yes.
I've learned how to fight to the bitter end.
I feel like I'm Grumman, and or whichever one of them, and you're Bradley, and my forces are encroaching on the capital.
What about something
Thank you for making me Bradley in your hypothetical, Bay.
Well, of course you're Bradley, the proud, powerful king who inevitably falls to forces that, while lesser individually, are greater in number than his.
Mm. And
Pan over Londo here.
who's Orlando Malari? Hmm. Yeah, sa ikuso.
Well, I know I can take your pawn, but I'm just trying to think about if I can do anything else.
Take my pawn. Okay.
Maybe I should stop trying to think of everything ahead if I already know what the good move immediately is.
Oh, you think?
If I were you, I might have sacrificed my queen to take this knight, because then you would have traded one piece for two in a defensive effort that might have been better for you.
No thanks.
Well, okay, I would have been tempted to, but I probably wouldn't have done it because I would have known inherently that it was tactically unsound.
Yeah, just simple arithmetic tells you that, Bay.
You're really ganging up on my bishop there, huh?
Am I?
Yes.
Huh.
But I would caution you in your haste to capture my large pieces not to forget about your pawns.
Who do you think you're talking to, Bay? I never forget about my pawns. The thing is, they become a lesser priority when you're down.
Oh, that's treacherous. I take... Oh, my queen's there. Alright.
So you're at 88, Herman? Okay, yeah, no, that's, in fact, you know what, that's not even the right place. Wow, I thought I updated the address on Angie's list. Yeah, so, no, that's, we don't even live there anymore, so I'm terribly sorry about that. Yeah.
I'm almost
Why don't
tempted.
I'll call you back sometime, I mean, like I said, we're not doing some stuff right now.
White to move.
I'm familiar.
I'm not rushing you, Bay. I'm just letting the audience know because I was panning to you while I made my move.
It's availability at 4:30 and at 8.
By accident.
Well, I have a couple moves here.
Duh, you have a couple moves.
One of my options is to take your pawn and accept the loss of my bishop.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm an up.
Yeah, you
enough-
should do that, babe.
Well,
Why don't you do
let
that?
me finish explaining what move and then why I'm not going to make it,
Uh-huh.
or why I may not make it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I have enough material that I would still be fairly up, and I would have a pawn close to the back rank that I would likely be able to protect with my rooks and my queen.
I don't know how likely that is.
Okay, that's one move
Okay.
I could make.
All right.
All right. The other move I could make is to checkmate you. Check. I mean, what? That's not a move. Okay.
Mate in two, right, babe? You just move your queen right there, right? Just move your queen right there, and you'll mate me in two, right?
Anyway,
Clear his throat.
anyway, that's another mistake I could make. I would caution you that stone isn't exactly perfectly balanced, so your glass might be in trouble.
It wasn't in trouble, but thank you for your paranoia.
Anyway, so another one of my moves is
You mean
to
another one
simply
of your
take your
mistakes?
rook and accept a 1-point material loss in exchange for whittling down your overall combat strength to a point where I think I might be able to beat you just outright through sheer brute force.
Well, you should do that then.
That's another possibility. So I could take your pawn and accept a material loss. I could take your rook and accept a material loss, or I could attempt a convoluted series of calculations that may or may not work, but might yield me something other than a material loss, which is what I'm trying to figure out if it's possible to do right now. And that's why I was exploring things like a check on this square, but then obviously realized that it wouldn't work. And I also have to consider the threat that if you place another threat on this pawn here, you can not only take my pawn, but jeopardize my rook.
Well, sounds like you have your work cut out for you.
The first step in deciding how to move is to analyze the threats that the enemy is presenting you and all of your counters.
Indeed. Hashtag full counter.
But I think the single greatest thing I can do is this.
Sean is suggesting it.
Yeah. I saw.
It's not.
What? What are you doing?
They might not be open yet either. They don't have lunch service.
What are you doing? That's objectively a bad move.
No, it isn't.
Thanks for letting me keep my material advantage in an overwhelming majority.
If I had taken your piece, you could have done the 2-move checkmate.
No, because of your bishop.
I think she said yeah.
Does she?
Yeah. That's why.
Look,
Oh, I see what you mean.
yeah.
God damn it. That's dumb.
Remember when I said my logic abilities were better than yours? I think maybe it's just my perception.
Well, it sounds like
Or my determination to perceive, rather.
yeah.
You trust, I think, too much your inherent perception and do not assign enough effort to perception.
Yeah, I'm too hasty.
Yes. Which is why you're always rushing me to make a move. Because you're hasty.
You don't want to do Theo Chang's.
Well, I mean, I don't know, but I don't think they're gonna wanna drive. I think
Now
they'll
you take my
wanna go.
pawn, yeah.
That Sean likes off. They call.
But
Oh, there's one on Main Street.
I win.
That's sweet.
That's what we do. You can drive over there and go to them close to their house.
Yeah, I'll bet you.
if you take my rook, you lose. I hope somebody in the audience can appreciate the beauty of what I just did. The juxtaposition of what is classically considered a good move and what is considered a good move in the context of the victory and the loss of the game.
It's already going to get reservations for tonight.
This game has been a fairly back and forth game, actually. Would you agree with that?
Oh, really? Okay. Well, so how?
Well, no, I think I had a winning majority all throughout the game because I took your rook very early on.
What about that when I almost killed your queen?
I started off the game. That was a moment Just a moment. I started off the game with a very.
I had her dead to rights.
Let me explain. I started off the game with a very aggressive advance of my pawns that forced you, played merry hell with your ability to develop your pieces.
No.
And I leveraged that into taking your rook.
It was a simple oversight. That's all.
Just like
It wasn't about your strategy. It was about my ignorance.
Then I would say the same for my queen later on. But the difference is I survived and you did not.
Yeah, by my folly, not by your success.
That's called self.
You should have gotten your queen out so much sooner, Bay.
It paid off, didn't it?
No, not really.
Victory and loss are the only two determiners of a game.
Yeah, 'cause that's close.
Well, that is not exactly true. But
Yeah, that's not true.
Oh.
it's impossible for you to win this game. I hope you realize that.
I do realize that. I concede. Good game.
Good game. Didn't I tell you that I would